How's it going, YouTube? Welcome to another Reddit reply. And before we jump into it, I want to show this off really fast. This is my old D20 woodworking video game page, which is always kind of like a mouthful, and I'm slowly revamping it. I don't know if this is the finished design or not. But basically, this is my new video game page, just D20WW. And I might change the name again. I don't really like that name. But anyway, so on this page, I'm doing the videos, live streams, shorts, all that fun stuff. And if you're interested in anything like that, and any type of video game content, do me a huge favor and come subscribe. Come subscribe to this channel. The link for it will be down in the description. I'm not slowing down my board game content creation or anything like that. I just really love content creation. I like to make content. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's really cool. And I wanted to do it for video games, see if I could do it for that too. So if you want to support me on that channel, I would greatly appreciate. The link to it, like I said, will be down in the description. Or if you're on like my main page and you just scrolled all the way down, it's like down here, right? You can click on subscribe down here, so that works too. So anyway, if you want to support me there, I would greatly appreciate it. But all right, so let's jump right into the Reddit reply. Before we actually even really get into it, as of recording this, and as of this video coming out, the Con of Heroes tickets are on sale. Now, I personally haven't been to Con of Heroes yet. I hope to go this year. I'm trying to figure out my work schedule and see if I can make it work. But there's a lot of friends of this channel that have either been on or commented or whatever, or that you've seen in our Discord, which by the way you should be a part of too. But they've all been to it and they said it's a fantastic time. It's really amazing. It's really cool. So I just want to point that out. Here's the webpage for their tickets and whatnot. So it's May 5th to the 7th out in the Game Center building. I'll put the link to the ticket page also down in the description of the video so you can check it out if like I said, if it's something you're interested in or not. I hope to be there. I really want to be there. We'll see if I can actually make it work with my work schedule, at least for like a day or two. Maybe not the full 3 days, but if I can get out there for a day or two, I'd be pretty happy with that. So we'll see. All right, cool. So jumping into the actual meat of the content now, on the Marvel Champions subreddit, how important to you is being thematic? And this was kind of an interesting topic for me because theme for me in Marvel Champions like matters to a point, right? So like I'm not a big comic book buff or fan or anything like that. I wasn't into like the TV shows or anything. What really got me into most of Marvel stuff was probably the early X-Men movies, right in like 2000, I think they came out, with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. That's kind of what got me into it. And I watched the Marvel movies. I'm not super into it like a lot of people are. I watch them on airplanes when I get a free moment. I don't really watch the TV shows. I just don't have time for that. But I passively watch it, right? So theme to me isn't super important, except for things like, oh, I don't know, Wolverine not having claws when he should, right? Like, besides that stuff, that's what bothers me. But they talk about how, like, they can't play Hulk as a leadership or justice because it doesn't thematically make sense for them. And I'm kind of wondering where a lot of people stand on this. How important to you is theme in this game? Like I said, for me, it's like a little important, right? It kind of matters a bit, but it's not the end all be all. It's something that I think is neat, and I think I can create my own theme within the scope of the game, right? I could picture Hulk being a leader of the Avengers if it makes sense for that game and it thematically works for that game. I think I can do that. But then again, Wolverine without claws really throws me off, especially when his picture has him with the claws. So I don't know. I go so back and forth on this because theme is like slightly important to me, but I don't know if it's in the top 5 things as far as importance goes. So that's why I was kind of curious how you all felt about that. Next up isn't really a question or anything, but it's kind of a fun little post they had about how Black Panther is so much fun, how much they really enjoyed it, and talking about if there's anyone that has similar play styles. And it was twofold with this that I want to talk about. One, I have neglected Black Panther for a while now, and I need to get him back to the table because he is a lot of fun. He's a really cool hero in the way that he works, with the whole Wakanda Forever system. I really enjoy it. I think it's neat. I will say that I usually play him in protection because of the natural retaliate ability he has, and it's one of those things where I feel like I need to experiment more with Black Panther in other aspects. I've heard he's really good in leadership as well, which I think would be cool and fun. So that's another thing I hope to do with Black Panther at some point. But yeah, this is one of those heroes where I feel like I haven't played as much as I really should have or should be recently. And I felt the same with recently I played Spider-Man, right? Recently I played Spider-Man. It was really fun to play him again. I have this hard time going back to the core heroes because there's just so much content coming out, right? Like there's so much content out there right now that I'm struggling to keep up. I'm struggling to keep up with all the new stuff. I still go back to like kind of like the middle of the road heroes that have been out recently, and I feel like there's other combinations I want to do more of, and maybe it's because I played the core box so much. I don't know, but yeah, just one of those things where I want to know how you all feel. Have you gone back and visited some of the old heroes recently? You know, do you kind of have different takes on them, especially with all the new cards coming out? Like, does it help things? Does it hurt things? Does it make it good, different, whatever it is? Really want to know your thoughts on this. Um, to see what you're thinking and feeling. And same with Iron Man, right? I was having a conversation with someone the other day about Iron Man, how good he is now. And I was like, oh yeah, he is. I did him like once or twice, but like I need to play more Iron Man again, right? Like Iron Man was such a fun hero, really hard solo, but it was such a fun hero that I need to get back and play. So anyway, this is kind of like a friendly reminder to myself to go back and play some old heroes. But I'm always interested to see if people get stuck like me and then get stuck with all the new stuff and you stop playing some of the old stuff, or you're pretty good at like getting yourself back and playing all the old stuff. All right, last thing is actually from the solo board gaming subreddit, and they talk about, in your opinion, what are some of the most brutal solo games to win? And they talk about Race for the Galaxy, right? Which is an insanely hard solo game. I have played, I think I had 100 some plays when I was still recording my plays. I've stopped the past year. I've had 100 some plays. I never won ever in that game for solo. I never won ever for solo in that game. Game's the worst. I haven't played Arknow, but they did talk about Lord of the Rings, and they're talking about getting beaten so badly. And it's true with the core box, right? The core box is so balanced poorly for solo. It's really, really rough. So I was kind of wondering what your all most brutal solo games are that you've played, and this could even be related to Marvel Champions if you want, right? Because I know the majority of my community enjoys that the most, or Arkham Horror, or Lord of the Rings, right? Lord of the Rings is notorious, I think, notoriously hard for solo players in general, especially that core box. I think Arkham Horror is weirdly balanced poorly for pure solo as you progress in the cycles, right? Like as you go up in more and more cycles, it's not balanced as well. In the early cycles, I think you can handle pure solo, but if you just play two-handed, it's not so bad. And Marvel Champions, it's the typical villains, right? They're really tough villains. They're hard to do and hard to beat, and we kind of all know who they are. But I guess outside of that, who are some of the most brutal solo games to win? So anyway, I hope you enjoy this Reddit reply. I always enjoy doing these things. If you want to do me a huge favor before you go, make sure to scroll down, hit the like button, hit subscribe, leave a comment, and go subscribe over my my other page, my video game page. I would greatly appreciate it. See you all next video.